The thing that limits most people in training is their standing structure. When people get out of shape or they get really, really injured, their standing structure compromises. I know because I've been hurt a lot, extremely seriously, many, many times. I've had full PCL replacement, LCL replacement. I probably need a full knee replacement now. The way that I continue to function and the way that I continue to be mostly pain-free for about 99% of the time is by working on standing structure every day for a minimum amount of time. That could be picking up a kettlebell with a weight in one hand. Single kettlebell training forces you to stand up. It is different than dumbbell training. Dumbbell training tends to force people into a more flexed position because the weight is centrally loaded in the hand. With a kettlebell, because it's externally loaded away from the body frame, the body is forced to resist the movement of the kettlebell. It defaults people to standing up better and better and better over time. Same thing is true of heavy club swinging. When you swing heavy clubs, you have to stand all the way up and you have to do a version of a throwing pattern. We call it a proto-throwing pattern, the thing before throwing a baseball. It's not like throwing a baseball, it's the thing before throwing a baseball. If you combine these two ideas together, then you tend to stand up pretty well. All the muscles around your spine fire very well. Your ankles work, your knees work, your hips work. Then you can stack a bunch of other type of training on top of that. We have a program that we wrote that's just about this. It's called ITK, or Intro to Kettlebell. The reason most people fail in their fitness journey is because they do not have a good rack position. Barbell, kettlebell, dumbbell, stone, sandbag, club. They all have a version of the rack position. And if you're not getting where you want to be in your training, it's probably because there's something wrong with that rack position. We wrote a program which is for brand new people, get them to do the rack position well, to stand up well. This works really good for new athletes, and then people tend to go to swings and clean and press for a long period of time, which is where they get most of their benefit. But they can only get there if their rack position is good. The side effect of this program is that above 32K for men, they go back to the exact same program. Intro to Kettlebell, do it when you're new to training with a lightweight, then you go through your mid part of training, and then you go to advanced training above 32K. People need to go back to their simple breakdowns in order to get their skeleton to adapt to weights above 70 pounds. It's a simple idea, but it's not well understood. Super light, you need to do breakdown drills. Super heavy, you need to do breakdown drills. I'm an engineer, or I was an engineer years ago, so we are constantly trying to rework ideas to make them better and more understandable. We made this program years ago. It's got 5 levels, it's got 5 moves, it's 25 breakdown movements to help people with this. And we decided to do a re-edit on it because I want the information to be better and more understandable forever. So we've put it into what we're calling ITK version 2 to try to make it more understandable. As an engineer, I get all kinds of crazy details that nobody else cares about. And we have to remove all of that excess stuff, the engineer talk, from the program to make it better. So simple idea, if you're new to training, the most important thing is your rack position. When you're an advanced athlete, the most important thing is your rack position. This is an idea from Bruce Lee. In the beginning, a punch is just a punch. In the middle, a punch is more than a punch. And at the end, a punch is just a punch. Same idea. In the beginning, rack position is rack position. In the middle of training, we do all kinds of other stuff, and at the end of training, we go back to the pure basics because we're trying to lift more weight. Simple idea, not easy. Training is never easy, but it's always based on simple fundamental ideas. Rack position, barbell, kettlebell, club, sandbag, doesn't matter. The better you get at that, the better you get at everything. The more you can adapt, the better your overall outcome will be. We designed this to go with very specific kettlebells. They have the smallest weight jump, 1K or half K jumps. Those are the Mark Wildman bells, because everybody should be able to succeed. If you are not able to succeed, it's because the program wasn't good or you didn't do the program. Get a good program, get good equipment. Doesn't have to be mine, could be anybody's. Focus on your rack position, learn to stand up better, stack fitness on top of a good standing structure. The most hardcore athletes in the world never stop focusing on standing structure. Ballerinas, Kung Fu martial artists, circus performers. The most hardcore athletes I've ever met focus on standing structure every day, and then they stack complex skill on top of that.